Hey, welcome back to Mechanical Pros. Today I'm with Mr. Cody Smith, one of our project managers here at Mechanical Resource Group, and we're going to be talking about the differences between a counterflow cooling tower and a crossflow cooling tower. This is a counterflow cooling tower. So easiest way for me to get it in my brain to understand it is in any cooling tower, we're taking the warm process water from whatever we're doing in the building, whether it be a chiller or water source heat pumps. We need to cool that water off the cooling tower. So you pump that water up to the very top of the tower, and then it's distributed through nozzles over some cooling tower fill, and it trickles down. So a counterflow tower, like you see behind us, is pulling air from all four sides of the tower from the bottom and flowing it up. So in other words, we're countering the flow of the water. The air is counter to the water. The water's coming down and the air is going straight up. Now a crossflow cooling tower, on the other hand, we're still raining the water down from the top, but instead of pulling air in from all four sides from the bottom up, we're only pulling air in from two sides across. The water's coming down and our air's cutting across it. So that would be a crossflow cooling tower. Cody, one big thing I've found over the years is these little counterflows are just great towers. They're solid, price point's good, but they do have their limitations on size. When you start getting into larger applications, big 1,000-ton chillers and up, not that you couldn't still do a counterflow, but it may not be cost effective to go that route. That's where you might want to start looking into a crossflow cooling tower. Now we're here to look at a crossflow cooling tower instead of the counterflow tower we were looking at earlier. In this case, we have a BAC, Baltimore air-cooled cooling tower, instead of our Evapco. So instead of pulling the air in from all around the tower and moving the air up as the water falls down, in this case, the water's falling down and the air's passing straight across it from two sides. You can see one side right here. In this particular case, these are two separate cooling towers, but I've got two chillers tied on these, and there's a crossover pipe underneath the tower, so I can share both of these cold water basins to make one larger tower, but I may only need to run one fan at a time. So it's a way to save a little energy. We got enough water here, capacity to keep my two chillers cool, but I may not need to run both fans. In mild conditions, I may only need to run one fan. So in this case, I don't know if you can hear it, but we are in fact running one fan slowly on a variable frequency drive, and we're utilizing this entire cold water sump of both of these cooling towers to cool down my two chillers in there. Now the controls for basin water level control and heating the cold water basin, very similar to a counterflow. There's really, other than just brand specific stuff, it all works the same way. You've got a basin heater that's controlled off of a thermostat that's making sure you've got the proper water level in the tower. If the temperature drops below your thermostat setting and we have adequate water in the tower, we energize that basin heater to keep that water warmed up to keep from freezing the water in the tower.
Thank you for watching Mechanical Pros. We'll see you on the next one.